Alright folks, today I've got the Rofus R2. It is a rechargeable 700 lumen waterproof magnetic tail cap XM-L2U3 LED 14500 powered flashlight that can turn into a 90-degree angle flashlight, and it has a magnetic charger. Isn't that neat? There's a lot going on with this thing. So let's get into it and see what all it can do. Alright, so what you get in the box with the Rofus R2 is a wrist lanyard that will attach to the clip. Alright, you get some O-rings. You get a warranty card. You get the manual. You get a head strap. So I can go from carrying this thing in my pocket, right, to clipping it onto a hat, or to turning it sideways 90 degrees and hooking it into this thing and wearing it on my head. So we'll get into that. It has a magnetic charger end to a USB end, so you can recharge it without removing the battery. We all want that. So let's get into it. Alright, if you're going to use the head strap, I would recommend removing the clip. You don't have to. It's just a bit of a hassle to get it into the head strap if you have that clip on there. All you got to do is take it, stretch that over the tail cap, and it slides right on. Then you bend the head down. And the good thing about this is that the head strap really holds the light in place. See, it's not moving. I have to turn it to move it. So it really holds it in whatever area you point it. And then also, this head on the flashlight is really stable as well. Meaning I can, tail stand it and stick it on a magnet instead of just pointing it at 90. I could point it like that at the wall somewhere, point up, instead of pointing straight down to the side. So that gives you a lot of options, right, on where you can point your light. Instead of just laying it on the ground or clipping it to your hat, you've got a lot more you can do with it. And with the head strap, it holds it in place well. I really like it. The charger on this light, it sticks to it, and when it goes on, that little light will change colors, showing you how it's charging. Stand by, I'll show you. So when the light is charging, it'll have a red light on it here. There you go. It'll have a red light, and that light will turn green whenever it's fully charged. And this is a good magnet on the charger. You can see I'm twirling the light all the way around. They have it on this kind of flimsy, flat cable, so the cable is not fighting the charger. I can come home, and the charger can be laying there, and all I gotta do is get near it, and now I'm charging, and it's difficult to get it off. I have to touch it, pull it away, walk away from the counter, whatever. Just the wire itself will not cause it to come off. Which, man, I got to give it to Rofus on that. There are some others that have the magnetic charger, and they are not, they don't stay on well. You have to lay it just right and not cough near it, and if a bug runs by it too fast, it'll come undone. So I really like this, that they have a strong enough magnet on there. We got to talk about the clip on this thing. So where it's located, I don't know what their plans were, but you can cover the switch to where you can't push the switch. So that's kind of a neat thing, because you can put this in your pocket, and then you don't have to worry about accidentally activating the light, because it's completely covered by the switch. The other thing is you can cover the charging port. Don't know why you would need to, but you can. And then you can it twists all the way around with no interference from anything. The only thing is when you go to try to turn the head, it will be in the way unless you put it just in the right spot. So I think if you're going to start taking this head and turning it and mounting it places or whatever, I'd say take the clip off, turn it to where you want it, and then apply the clip, and then clip it to something, or magnetize it to something, so that way you don't damage the clip or scuff up the head or anything on the clip. Alright. Alright, this light does have a lockout feature, an electronic lockout feature, so you don't have to unscrew it and make it any less waterproof. So what you can do is you hold down the button and it will come on in moonlight mode, and then when it flashes real bright like that, it's locked out. So now I can press it and it's just going to give me a red light, and it doesn't matter how many times I press it, it's not going to come unlocked. The only thing I can do is hold the button down and it will light up in moonlight mode, and that's how I know it's unlocked. Alright, so the R2 does have a strobe feature, which I'm about to activate. So from on or off, you can triple click and it goes to strobe, and if you hold it down after that, it'll go into SOS. And if you click it again, it'll go back into off. If you're on and you triple click, it will go to strobe, and if you click it again, it goes off. So it's always going to go off after you take it out of strobe. Alright, so let's go over the user interface on this thing. So from off, you can do the following things. You can hold it down and it will come on in moonlight mode. You can barely see it on the wall there. It's a half a lumen. From off, you can also double click, which gets you turbo, which is the 700 lumens. And then from off, you can triple click and it gives you strobe. And then that's it. All else you can do from it is just lock it out from off. So from on, you turn it on, it's going to be in the last mode you had it in. It always remembers. So there's the low mode. I turn it off, turn it back on, it's in low mode. It will not turn on in moonlight mode. You have to hold it down to get moonlight mode. So there's moonlight mode. That is a half a lumen. And then if I hold it down, it'll go to low. That's the half a lumen will give you 125 hours. The low mode, which is 5 lumens, will give you 43 hours. 43 hours of that right there. The next mode up is the middle mode, which is 90 lumens, and you get that for 253 minutes. And the next mode is 300 lumens, and you get that for 96 minutes. And I believe, and I tell you what, it goes down to 90 lumens after so many minutes. I don't know how long. And then if you double click, you get turbo. That's 700 lumens, and it goes down to 330 lumens. So you get 3 minutes at 700 lumens, and then it'll go down to 330 lumens for 67 minutes, just over an hour. So that's a pretty good runtime for a light like this. And your strobe is at 600 lumens. You get that for 83 minutes. And the SOS is 600 lumens, and you get that for 90 minutes. So there it is. That's everything this thing can do. I guess all we can do now is take it outside, see what it looks like, you know, in the dark. Right. It's let's go into moonlight mode. So moonlight mode is gonna be a half a lumen. So you see that little circle on the ground? That's your half a lumen. And you can't even see it, you know, other than reading something at night, which is plenty of light. Your next mode is going to be 5 lumens. You click and hold, and that gives you 5. See, that's a little brighter. I can now see the ground while standing up. And then your next mode is going to be 90 lumens. And that gives us a little light. I mean, at 90 lumens, I can see across the street. You may not be able to, but I can see across the street. There's a tree there, there's a power pole, but it's hard to tell for you. And then your next set is going to be 300 lumens. And now you can really start seeing what this light can offer. Not a lot of distance, but that's not the point of this light. If I double click, that gives me 700 lumens. So you can see I barely see that tree in the back that's about 100 feet away. But for a light that runs off of 14500 and is this small, to see about 100 feet away is good. It's great. So, but let's get into what this thing is intended for, which is a headlamp / utility light, something to be used up close. So let's go back down to my 300 lumens and we'll show some stuff up close. So this is my yard with a fence. There is some light. There's a street light there. And we go 300 lumens, and that is plenty. And double click to 700, it's even more than plenty. So, but for the 300 lumens, for this to be on your head is, for me, it gives you, it's a little more focused than it should be. Headlamp should be flood. This gives me a good bit of distance with even the 300 lumens. So there's a little bit of light coming out of the house, and then that is not really any light, and there's 300 lumens. And that's a lot. Like I said, it's more distance than I think it should be for a headlamp. I'm thinking this should be more flood than distance. And that's got a good bit of distance. I mean, that's probably 30 feet right there. But because it gives so much distance, on the lowest mode, it gives you a real bright light. Like that's your 5 lumens, but it makes it feel like it's more because it's so focused. It makes it feel like you're actually doing something if you wear this on your head and you've got the 5 lumens. Well, there it is, the Rofus R2. I think this is a really good light for anybody to keep in their bag, everyday carry kind of a piece of equipment. I think you can keep the strap and the charger in your bag, and then I think you can carry this with the clip comfortably, easily, all the time. If you're not looking for something, you know, tactical, and you just want a lot of options with some light, this is it, because it's rechargeable without removing the battery. It has a small size, a 14500 battery that's rechargeable to 800 milliamp hour battery by Rofus, and it's just a small, good little light. and I think it's got a lot of good features. So I appreciate you guys watching my video. Hopefully I've informed you enough on how to operate this light and whether or not it is for you. And thanks for watching my videos. This is the Rofus R2. If you want to look at the links at the description on this video, you'll see a link to where you can purchase this thing. And I'm also going to include a link to my Facebook pages. So thanks for watching Stone EDC Reviews.